Hello everyone and welcome to this lecture of GS paper 3 syllabus in brief. So first we will discuss the syllabus and then I will tell you about the various sources from where you can study in a brief and lucid manner. So let us begin. So in GS paper 3 we have some broad headings, that is technology, economic development, biodiversity, environment, security and disaster management. So at first we have Indian economy and issues relating to planning. Okay, in this you should know what is the meaning of planning, why is it needed in the first place, and what are the various types of planning. Like we have indicative planning, we have imperative planning and various other types of planning. Then we have mobilization of resources. In this you should know how the resources are mobilized, like we have FDI. Okay, then we have external commercial borrowings, then we have internal borrowings, like this, and what are the issues with respect to mobilization of resources. Then we have growth and development. What is the meaning of growth, what is the meaning of development, then there is difference between growth versus development. Okay, how both of them differ. Then we have employment. How is there employment in India? Okay, in which sectors people are employed, how many are there in primary, how many there are in secondary, and how many there are in tertiary sector. What is the ratio of informal sector to the formal sector in economy, like this. Then we have inclusive growth and issues arising out of it. In inclusive growth, we have what is the meaning of inclusive growth, what are the factors. There are social factors in inclusive growth, there are economical factors in inclusive growth. Okay, there are political factors, there are environmental factors. Then what are the issues arising out of achieving economic growth. Then we have government budgeting. Okay, how the government budget is made, what are the issues with it, like we have deficit financing. Okay, then we have off budgeting. So these are some of the issues with government budgeting. Then we have major crops and cropping patterns in various parts of the country. That in this you should know which major crops are in which part of the country, like where sugar cane is grown, okay, where cotton is grown, where rice is grown. So major crops that you should know. Then we have different types of irrigation and irrigation systems. What are the different types of irrigation and irrigation system? Like we have drip irrigation, okay, we have river water irrigation. So what are different types of irrigation in country and what are the issues with respect to them? One of the issue with respect to groundwater irrigation is that it is leading to salinity of soil, like this. Then we have storage, transport and marketing of agriculture produce and issues and related constraints. So how agriculture products are stored. Okay, like there are FCI warehouses. What are the issues with it? Like we have less number of cold storage. Then how they are transported, okay, via truck, rail, etc. And what are the issues? One of the issues is that we do not have proper rural infrastructure to transport agriculture. Then issues with marketing of agriculture produce, that there is APMC Act. So this is a big issue because it does not allow free and fair marketing of agriculture produce. And then we have e-technology in the aid of farmers. How e-technology is helping farmers. Okay, how is it helping? Like we are using drones nowadays, we are using smartphones. So how this is helping our farmers. Then we have issues related to direct and indirect farm subsidies and minimum support price. That what are the issues with the subsidies that we are providing. That one of the thing is that it is distorting our agriculture balance. We have a surplus of rice and wheat, but we have shortage of pulses. This is due to direct and indirect subsidies which are distorted, and this is also due to minimum support price. Due to minimum support price, even the farmers in Punjab are growing rice, okay, which is not suitable for Punjab as such. Then we have public distribution system. Okay, what are its objective, what is its functioning, what is its limitations. One of the objective is that to provide food to the poor. And how does it function? You should know that there is FCI, then there's ration card scheme. Okay, then it goes to poor. So there's center government, state government. This is how it functions. Okay, then we have limitations. What are the limitations of our PDS system? Like there's leakage, there's corruption, etc. Then we have issues of buffer stock and food security. So in this you should know what are the issues with respect to buffer stocks and food security. That most of our buffer stocks lies rotten. it is not used. Okay, many a times you will see in news that the rice or wheat which has been kept in buffer stock, it was eaten by rats or had pest in them. So like this is one of the issues. And the food security, what is the issues with respect to food security? That our food is not fortified as such. So like this. Then we have various technology missions, like we have the white revolution for milk, the yellow revolution in, you should know about them. Then economics of animal rearing, that how animal rearing can help in inclusive growth. What are the various government schemes which have been brought for animal rearing, the government schemes which have been brought. Then we have food processing and related industries in India, scope and significance, that what is the scope of food processing industry, that it is a sunrise industry. Then what is the significance of this, that it can provide jobs to even rural people in rural areas. Then we have how they are located in which places, and the upstream and downstream requirements, what are the upstream requirements of this industry and what are the downstream requirements, and how their supply chain can be managed. Like there's logistic issue in their supply chain management, we do not have proper cold storage for them, etc. Then we have land reforms in India, why they were done in the first place, what was their impact, and what is the way ahead. See, still land reforms in India are not completed, as we do not have conclusive title. Okay, even till date the titles remain presumptive. They are not conclusive as such. Okay, so like this you should know. Then we have effects of liberalization on the economy. Sorry for this. Effects of liberalization on the economy. What effect liberalization had on the economy? One of the effect is that we have positive effect, such as our GDP growth has gone up, per capita income has gone up, but we have some negative effects also, like the environmental pollution. Okay, we have inequality, the inequality has risen. So like this. Then the changes in industrial policy and their effects on industrial growth. Okay, what changes in industrial policy we have made, like before 1991, what was our industrial policy, after 1991 what it was. Then we had various schemes such as Make in India. Okay, then we have SEZ scheme. So like this we have the various policies which affected our economic growth or industrial growth. Then we have infrastructure, energy, ports, road, airports, railways, etc. So you should know about how this infrastructure is created, what are the problems in them. Okay, what more upgradation can be done, like our airports are becoming saturated nowadays, so what more upgradation can be done so that these airports become world class, etc. Then we have investment models. Okay, in this you should know about various investment models like PPP, BOT, HAM, etc. And what are the issues with them, especially you should know the Kelkar committee and its recommendations. Then we have science and technology developments and their application and effects in everyday life. Okay, what are the new developments in science and technology and how they are affecting our everyday life. Like for corona, now we have UV cases in which you can disinfect your mobile. So like this we have various developments. Then we have achievement of Indians in science and technology. What are the various achievements, such as we have Chandrayaan. Okay, then we have produced BrahMos missile and many more. We have produced COVID-19 vaccines. So these are the some of the achievements. Then indigenization of technology and developing new technology. What technology have we indigenized till date? Say in defense sector, now we can produce the Tejas aircraft. So this we have indigenized. And developing new technology, what new technologies are we developing? Then awareness in fields of IT, space, computers, robotics, nanotechnology, biotechnology, and issues related to intellectual property rights. In IPR you should know, such as patent evergreening. There's issue of patent evergreening and various other issues. Then we have conservation of environment. Okay, environment pollution, degradation, what causes pollution, how the environment is getting degraded day by day. And the EIA, you should know that EIA is under which act. Okay, why is it needed in the first place. Okay, and what are the issues with EIA, this we should know. Then we have disaster and disaster management. What are the various types of disasters, like we have cyclones, we have earthquakes, and how they can be managed. In this, you should know the NDMA guideline, especially what NDMA guideline says how to manage about disaster. Then we have linkages between development and spread of extremism, how development and spread of extremism are interrelated. Say in Chhattisgarh, we have less development, that is why there is Naxalism there. So like this, less amount of development causes spread of activism. So you should know about the linkages between both of them. Then we have role of external state and non-state actors in creating challenges to internal security. How external states such as Pakistan, okay, or China, or non-state actors such as ISIS are creating challenges to internal security in India. Then we have challenges to internal security through communication networks, such as due to communication network, nowadays we have lone wolf attack. Then we have role of media and social media networking sites in internal security challenge. See the Facebook, Twitter, etc. These sites are not based in India. So that is why these sites sometimes create challenges in internal security because they do not share data with our agencies. Then we have basics of cyber security. In this, you should know that what cyber security is, how it can be achieved, and what is India's position with respect to cyber security. Then you should know money laundering and its prevention. What is the definition of money laundering and how it can be prevented. Then we have security challenges and their management in border areas. That what are the challenges in security along Pakistan border, along Bangladesh border, along Myanmar border, and how it is managed, how our borders are managed, like we have BSF, Assam Rifles, etc. Then linkages between organized crime with terrorism, how organized crime is interlinked with terrorism. Okay, due to organized crime we have money laundering, this leads to terrorism. Due to organized crime we have drug smuggling, this leads to terrorism. So these are the linkages between organized crime and terrorism. Then we have various security forces and agencies and their mandate. What are the various security forces? Like we have R and AW, we have various CAPFs like CRPF, BSF, etc. So what are the various security forces and what is their mandate? Okay, what role do they perform? Then we have sources. In sources we have for economy Niti Aayog 75 strategy, then economic survey and budget. Both of these are must. Then you should keep a tab on current affairs and the newspaper. Generally 1 year's current affairs is asked 1 year before the mains examination. Then we have Indian economy by Vivek Singh. You can use this as a secondary source supplement. Then you should use internet for value addition and selective note making. Okay, but please do not use internet as your primary source, otherwise you will be overwhelmed by the information. Then we have science and technology. For this we have current affairs and you can use internet. Then for disaster management we have disaster management NCERT, optional. You can only see it for diagrams are good in that. Then you should see second ARC summary. This is very good for disaster management. And NDMA guidelines on various disasters. You should have a brief overview of them. Then we have environment. For environment we have Shankar IAS environment and current affairs magazine. And for security you should again keep a tab on current affairs and news. So this more or less concludes our GS paper 3 syllabus in brief. In next lecture we'll be talking about GS paper 3 syllabus in detail. So thank you.